Welcome to Have More Babies. Today we're looking at some really interesting material you shared about baby wearing. It's, this ancient practice, carrying babies close, but it seems to be making a real comeback.
It really is. And the sources we looked at, well, they dig into why it's getting popular again. Lots of benefits, apparently, for both the parent and the baby. So our kind of mission here is to explore those upsides, understand how baby wearing can actually, help parents out.
Absolutely. And right off the bat, the sources really stress this idea of um, bonding. It's not just holding them close, is it?
No, it's deeper than that. It seems like being held like that, hearing the heartbeat, the warmth, even the smell.
Hmm.
It creates this real sense of security for the baby.
That makes sense, like a safe space.
Exactly. And one article pointed out how fundamental that security is for development. It might even help regulate their stress levels, leading to, well, calmer babies who cry less. It's almost like the carrier is a sort of portable womb extension in a
Hmm.
way.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk practicalities then. The convenience angle seems massive. Having your hands free while keeping baby close. The sources make that sound pretty life-changing, especially in those early days.
Oh, totally. Imagine making tea or like dealing with another kid without putting the baby down every 5 seconds.
Right.
And one piece even mentioned the impact on the mother's well-being, how women who baby wore felt um, more capable, less overwhelmed. It's not just about chores. It's about feeling a bit more like yourself, maybe keeping some productivity going.
And it's not just convenient for the parent. The baby's comfort is a big theme, too. The material suggests carriers support a more natural posture for the baby, which would help with, tummy troubles.
Yes, exactly. And it's interesting, some research hints that baby wearing might help with things like reflux or colic. That upright position, the gentle movement. It can aid digestion, maybe soothe a fussy baby.
Okay, so convenience for the parent, comfort for the baby, and then there's comfort for the wearer, too.
Uh-huh.
The sources talk about how a good carrier spreads the weight out, less strain on your shoulders and back.
That's a huge point.
Hmm.
Anyone who's spent hours just cradling an infant knows that ache. A good carrier can really make a difference.
And that leads to another benefit, mobility.
Right. You're not always tied to the stroller or, needing one arm free constantly.
Mm.
Parents can get out more easily, run errands, stay a bit more active.
Which is so good for your head, too, not just physically.
Definitely.
The sources also mentioned breastfeeding. I thought that was interesting, that certain carriers can make it easier, more discreet maybe, especially when you're out and about.
Yeah, that can be a real plus for some moms.
Ah.
Which kind of brings us to the how-to, right? How do you actually start? The material laid out some key things. First up, choosing the right carrier.
It's not one size fits all, is it?
Not at all. You've got wraps, those long fabric pieces you tie,
Okay.
slings, usually over one shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and then structured carriers, the ones with buckles and straps. Each has its pros and cons. Depends on you and the baby's age, really.
Right. And once you pick one, getting the fit right is crucial. The sources keep mentioning this M position, knees higher than their bottom, and making sure their head and neck are supported.
Exactly. Snug, but not too tight. Baby needs to breathe easily, move a little. You got to find that sweet spot. And of course, keeping an eye on the baby. Are they hungry, comfy, need changing, reading their cues?
And what about different ways to carry them? The sources mention front carries for newborns.
Yeah, keeps them close and secure. But as they get bigger, you might try a hip carry or even a back carry. Gives them a different view, shifts the weight for you two.
Makes sense.
And like anything new, practice helps. The material suggested maybe trying it with a doll first, just to get the hang of the tying or buckling before you put your actual baby in.
Good tip. And safety, that's obviously paramount.
Absolutely. The sources hammer this home. Make sure the baby's airway is always clear. Check the carrier for damage regularly.
And be careful what you're doing while wearing them, right? Avoid anything risky.
For sure. And also, remember to take breaks. One source pointed that out. If you're tired or the baby seems restless, just take them out for a bit. Listen to your body and your baby.
Now, for working parents, this seems particularly relevant. The material suggested baby wearing is a great way to keep that physical connection strong, even if you have limited time because of work.
Yeah, that closeness, the movement, your voice, it all helps reinforce that bond, even during busy schedules. And if you have some work flexibility, keeping baby close might mean you can respond to their needs faster without totally stopping what you're doing.
And then there's the multitasking. The source has talked about doing chores, emails, maybe even light exercise.
Yeah, freeing up your hands can be amazing, but, always carefully. You have to be really aware of the baby's support and safety if you're moving around doing other things.
Vigilance is key, definitely.
Absolutely. But being able to juggle things can be a huge help for many parents.
And finally, travel. If you like to get away, baby wearing sounds like it could make things much smoother. Navigating airports, sightseeing, keeping baby comfy and close.
That really does. Easier through security, too, though you'll likely have to take the baby out for screening. But yeah, generally seems like a great way to explore with your little one.
So wrapping this up, what we've seen from the sources is that baby wearing has, well, a lot going for it. That deep bonding, the sheer convenience, comfort for baby, maybe even helping with colic or reflux.
Comfort for the person carrying them, more mobility, making breastfeeding easier on the go. Lots of potential benefits.
And we touched on how to do it. Picking the right carrier, getting the fit and position safe and right, watching baby's cues.
Trying different positions as they grow, practicing, following all the safety rules, remembering breaks.
Yeah. And those specific points for working parents, nurturing the bond, the careful multitasking.
And for travel, just making the whole experience potentially easier and more enjoyable.
So the big takeaway from the material seems to be baby wearing offers a ton of advantages, but choosing the right carrier for you and being super careful about safety guidelines is absolutely vital.
Agreed. It's about finding the best fit for your family, always putting safety first.
Now, for anyone wanting way more detail, resources on baby care, development, all that stuff, you should definitely check out omegapediatrics.com.
Yes, they're a fantastic resource. Really comprehensive information there, omegapediatrics.com.
And hey, if you found this chat about baby wearing useful, we'd love it if you'd like this video.
Yeah, and subscribe to the channel for more discussions like this. And maybe share it with other parents you know. Could be helpful for them too.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Have More Babies.
Hey, bye for now.
Maybe take a moment to think about how baby wearing could fit into your life, perhaps easing some challenges or just adding to the joy of those early parenting days.